Just last year, the Chicago Bears were this.
Throws it up in the air, and it is intercepted. And that's going to take us to the finish line in 11 seconds.
The Chicago Bears have now lost 10 straight games.
And you got people out there on the team yelling, sell the team. People are wearing brown paper bags like they did with the Saints.
There's just nothing you can do with this franchise. There's nothing I like about it.
But this year, they're one of the best teams in the entire NFL. Week after week, they're pulling off miracles and they're doing the impossible.
Looking downfield, launching downfield, going for it all! Bears win it!
Bears fans, I gotta tell you, it feels like you're the team of destiny.
And at the center of this transformation is their new head coach, Ben Johnson, who in just his first year has completely changed the Bears culture forever, and who now has them at the doorsteps of the Super Bowl.
And you can just tell by the way that these guys are responding that they actually believe what Ben Johnson was trying to tell them all year long.
What can this team accomplish? Anything they want.
This team is completely unrecognizable from what it was just a year ago. So how exactly did we get here? Well, to figure that out, we have to go back to when the Chicago Bears were known for one thing: defense. That defensive identity carried them to the Super Bowl in 2007 and a conference championship appearance in 2011 under head coach Lovie Smith. However, while the defense remained a safety net for the Bears in its time there, the rest of the team wavered, and by 2012, after not having attained the success the Bears organization was looking for, he was fired. But when he left, the Bears didn't just move on from a coach. They lost the very identity that had anchored the franchise. And what ensued in the following years was a prolonged period of instability.
The Chicago Bears have decided to clean house. The team announced Monday that they have fired both head coach Mark Trestman and general manager Phil Emery.
After 5 consecutive losing seasons, Jay Cutler is no longer the Chicago Bears.
Sources say the Bears have fired head coach John Fox just a couple minutes ago.
The Chicago Bears parted ways with Matt Nagy, let him go fired this morning. No surprise there.
Coaches came and went, quarterbacks came and went, rebuilds started and inevitably fell apart. Through it all, the only thing that remained constant was disappointment. For the better part of the 2010s and the early 2020s, the Chicago Bears had become one of the most incompetent and underachieving franchises in all of football.
The Chicago Bears are trash. They're not a good organization. It's a damn shame they represent the city of Chicago. They stink.
They were stuck in an endless cycle, desperately searching for an answer. And while Chicago was struggling to find it, Ben Johnson was quietly building his own path in the NFL. Benjamin David Johnson was born in Charleston, South Carolina in 1986, and from an early age, football was more than just a game to him. He was drawn to the strategic side of the sport, the X's and O's, the structure of offenses, the way plays fit together. He was a real nerd for all of it. He played quarterback at A.C. Reynolds High School, where he led his team to the state championship and earned Conference Player of the Year honors. Those years in high school gave him experience not only on the field, but also in the locker room, and it gave him a first-hand look into what makes a culture. Ben Johnson later walked on at the University of North Carolina, where it became clear that his future in football wouldn't be as a player. Instead, he transitioned into coaching, beginning his career at Boston College before making the move to the Miami Dolphins, where he held various offensive roles and continued to refine his understanding of NFL offenses. In 2019, Ben Johnson joined the Detroit Lions as an entry-level coach, and while his role was initially limited, his reputation within the organization steadily grew. That growth accelerated in 2021 when the Lions hired Dan Campbell as their head coach. After an 0-8 start to the season, Ben Johnson was promoted to passing game coordinator, and his impact was glaring. The offense showed noticeable improvement, which is why in the 2022 season, he got the biggest opportunity of his entire life when he was named the team's offensive coordinator. That decision helped the Detroit Lions completely turn their franchise around and become one of the NFL's best teams.
It is the greatest offense right now in the league. Over the last 4 games, they have more offensive touchdowns than incomplete passes.
Under Ben Johnson, the Lions' offense became explosive and dynamic. His play calling style was aggressive, creative, and borderline arrogant. Some of the plays he was coming up with were wild.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to throw it back to Goff. Who had that on the bingo card?
By the 2024 season, the Detroit Lions were arguably the best team in football, finishing with a 15-2 record. And by that point, Ben Johnson had earned league-wide recognition as one of the NFL's brightest offensive minds. He was viewed as a promising future head coach that many franchises desperately wanted leading their team. One of those teams was the Detroit Lions' divisional rival, the Chicago Bears. Shortly after the Detroit Lions' playoff exits, Ben Johnson made it official.
Chicago lands the plane. They get the offensive coordinator from in the division, from the Detroit Lions. He's going to be hired as the next head coach of the Chicago Bears.
In Detroit, he had helped orchestrate one of the most dramatic turnarounds football has ever seen. But now that he was heading to Chicago, he faced the task of attempting something just as difficult. The Chicago Bears were just coming off one of the most disappointing seasons in recent times. The team had drafted Caleb Williams first overall, a quarterback many believed to be a true generational talent, and a player that the Bears believed could finally change the trajectory of their franchise. And things were looking up when they began the 2024 season with a 4-2 record, their best start to a season in over a decade. But things quickly unraveled in Week 8 against the Washington Commanders. The Bears were up 15-12 with seconds remaining in the game, but one play changed everything.
Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line, and the ball is caught! Caught! It's a miracle!
There couldn't have been a more gut-wrenching, more soul-crushing way to lose this game. The loss was felt in the locker room because after this, the Chicago Bears completely imploded and fell apart as they went on a 10-game losing streak and ended the year 5-12. But in the midst of all that chaos, there was hope. Despite being under constant pressure on almost every play, Caleb Williams showed flashes of what made him so highly touted. The roster also featured young offensive weapons worth building around. What the Bears were missing was a clear identity and a coaching staff capable of maximizing their talents. So, for the first time in years, the organization committed to a full reset, this time with a plan.
I get goosebumps right now just thinking about being the head coach of the Chicago Bears. I know exactly what this role and this responsibility requires, and I cannot wait to get to work.
One of Ben Johnson's first priorities was protecting his quarterback. The Bears aggressively rebuilt their offensive line, trading for Jonah Jackson and Joe Thuney, and signing Drew Dalman in free agency. Almost overnight, a long-standing weakness was suddenly now a strength. Next, Johnson and the front office focused on adding weapons. The Bears already had playmakers like DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and DeAndre Swift, but they added even more by drafting tight end Colson Loveland and wide receiver Luther Burden, while also finding a hidden gem in late-round running back Kyle Monangai. On the defensive side of the ball, the Bears found new life under new defensive coordinator Dennis Allen. And just like that, for the first time in years, this Bears team was complete. However, Bears fans entered the 2025 season with cautious optimism because while hopes were high, they had seen this movie before, and early on, it felt familiar. The season began poorly. Chicago blew an 11-point lead to the Vikings in Week 1. Then in Week 2, Ben Johnson faced off against his former team, and what many believed could have been a statement win against a divisional rival ended in humiliation as the Bears were dominated 52-21.
And the Chicago Bears, who dropped to 0-2.
The Bears suck. They still suck with Ben Johnson.
Just to say it bluntly, the Bears suck. You just lost a division opponent by 31 points.
But it's in the midst of adversity where you'll find out what your team's culture really is.
They played a little bit harder than us. That's a reflection of me as a coach. That's a reflection of our coaching staff, and it's a reflection of our players too. I think our practice habits are yet to reflect the championship caliber team.
What separated this team from those of past years was how they responded. They convincingly beat the Cowboys in Week 3 and followed it up with a thrilling victory against the Raiders in Week 4. But for me, the game where the Bears started to really draw attention was in the Week 6 rematch against the Washington Commanders. Last year, this game broke them, but this year, it built them.
Snap a bit high, kick is good, and the Bears win it.
In the following game, the Bears fell to the Ravens 30-16, but instead of spiraling, these Ben Johnson-led Bears embraced it, learned from it, and ultimately bounced back quickly when they did the impossible against the Bengals.
Loveland bangs off his man!
The Chicago Bears are pulling off these miracle wins week after week. What they're doing is improbable, but it's not a fluke. There's games where the odds are completely stacked against them, and yet they still find a way to prevail. This team's grit is a testament to the culture Ben Johnson has built, because it doesn't matter what situation they're in. There's nothing too daunting for this team to overcome, and every single person in that locker room believes it.
Never let it run! Never let it run! It's gonna get better! It's gonna get better! It better get better! It better get better! Bears on 3, 1, 2, 3!
But if you wanted me to define how special this Bears unit truly is, well, I think the Week 16 matchup against their most hated rival, the Green Bay Packers, perfectly encapsulates what this team has become. The Bears were outplayed for almost the entire game. They trailed 16-9 with under 2 minutes remaining. Their only hope of staying alive was converting an onside kick. And to no one's surprise, they pulled off a miracle.
Bears ball! They've recovered an onside kick! The fourth quarter magic is somehow continuing.
The Bears offense got the ball back, drove down the field, and on 4th and 4, Caleb Williams threw the game-tying touchdown and forced overtime. Despite having just a 1% chance to win this game, that night there was a feeling, both on the field and throughout the city of Chicago, that what happened next was inevitable.
Looking downfield, launching downfield, going for it all!